And let's talk about Trixie Mattel, who's talking about she is taking a break from music. So drag multi-hyphenate Trixie Mattel is officially taking a break from her music career. Now, Trixie had special guest Monet Exchange on her episode of The Bold and the Beautiful podcast released on Tuesday, April 30th, as two RuPaul's Drag Race winners who are also musicians and have released some great music. Monet asked if Trixie thought they'd ever be considered for Grammy nominations or if the Recording Academy would consider creating a drag music category for artists like them. So I have that clip and we're going to play it. So please hold.
Grammys. Or or just put us in regular fucking categories.
I don't know if you feel like this, but if we're really being just us girls, I recently have been taking a break from music because I feel the glass ceiling so fiercely. I feel so like, I think I've just gotten to do everything I'm going to get to do because we're only ever taken seriously about 1 month a year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, kind of takes the wind out of your sails. You're like, I want to make really music, but if I don't have this wig on, no one will pay attention. But because I have this wig on, no one will take it seriously. So then what?
Then like, what is the end? I know that it feels, it's very annoying. And it's like why I often feel like, why am I even doing this? Why am I even putting all this time, effort, money, everyone's fucking patience into this thing? Money.
We're independent artists. Do people realize how much a cheap music video is like $30,000?
Easily.
And that's when the directors are like, well, we're not going to have food on set.
Exactly.
And you won't have a ride and there's no air conditioning. And mind you, we're in an industry where we already do our own hair and makeup and shit. So it's like, music videos cost so much.
And but if you don't budget, but then there's such a machine, right? Well, you have to do the music video so it gets more press. You can talk about this thing, and a music video will lead to this. It's like one thing does lead to another, but it's like, bitch, we're independent artists, so I have to self-fund all of this, right? There's no label behind me pumping all this money into this single, into this project, making it like whatever. You just have to.
Well, even if there was, I mean, I know artists who are signed, and I know about their deals, and it's like that the record label can collect 80% of what they make, including touring and merch.
That touring and merch too?
So like the labels will be like, Monet, we want to sign you. We're going to give you a $3 million upfront bonus. And you're like, oh my God, that's more money than I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
$1 million even. And you go, oh my God, I could buy a house. Crazy. And then they go,
you heard that shade? Monet, the label could offer you $10. And bitch, that would be more money you ever fucking see a day in your life, bitch.
No. They'd be like, here's $2-3 million.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but it's an advance, which means it goes against 5 album sales.
Yeah.
So either you make us that much money, or at a certain point you owe us an extra album because you didn't make good on that amount. And in the meantime, we're going to pay for your record. We're going to pay for how much it costs, the art, the tour. We're going to pay your musicians. We're going to collect 80% of the profit.
Crazy. How is this legal?
Well, did you ever read Michelle's book, The Diva Rolls?
No.
She talks about being in seduction. And I mean, that was an era where for young pop girls, the music contract she was signed into was, and this is like open news, I'm not like spilling it. It was so predatory that she toured with seduction for 2 years. And I think in the book, she said maybe she made $1,000 a month. And she said by the end of seduction, I almost like borderline owed money.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because these deals were like, well, do you want to be a star or not? We're going to take 90% of the.
That's crazy. So yeah, that's what I said. This industry is a joke. There's a lot of artists running around here that's broke. They want to take 90% of the money that you make, or 80%, and then you get like 20% or 10% of that. And a lot of times when you see a lot of these artists, they're broke. We've heard the tea about it, like TLC. I just saw that TLC got a documentary, something on Netflix, which I have to check out. So you hear all these stories, and it's crazy because the worst thing is, like, I feel even worse for the Rue girls, because it's like, look, there's a lot of girls out here who make good music. Monet Exchange is one of them. Trixie makes good music. Adore Delano makes good music. Who else? I mean, I've heard some of Honey Davenport's stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of I mean, Alaska, I love Alaska stuff. You know, it's a lot of like silly parody type stuff. I like a lot of what Alaska puts out, and you know, back when they had the AAA girls, which was what, Willem, Vicky Vox, and what was it? No, it was Willem, Alaska, and Courtney Act, and then they had the other group where it was Willem, Vicky Vox, and then it was somebody else that was in it. I forget. But anyway, so I always like when the drag race girls do music, depending on who it is. Because there be some drag race girls, I'm like, hell, why are you even going there? But then there's some that are legitimate, talented performers, and they really put out that music. And yeah, you're already independent because you're self-financing. You know, bad enough, you're already having to pay all this money to buy your clothes, your wigs, you're beating your face because you don't have a team behind it. That's the good thing about being a drag artist, is that you don't have to hire hair, makeup, and wardrobe. You come up with all of that. But you're coming out of your pocket with all of that stuff. And then, you know, but they do have like the agencies like PEG and stuff that help them out with this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if you're independent, you're coming up with your look. You're spending money out of your own pocket for studio time. Who knows how much a beat costs? Like, I don't know. If anybody out here produces music, let me know how much it costs to come, you know, how much people charging for a beat. I hope it's not $30,000 damn dollars or 30 million. I remember Robert was telling me that what's his name? Max Martin charges $1 million. I'm like, y'all out your goddamn mind charging somebody $1 million for a for some music. I'm like, y'all are crazy. But you know, it costs a lot for producers. It costs them, you got to pay for, you know, and not only that, but if you're going on tour, you got to pay for the band, you got to pay for the dancers, you got to pay for all this stuff, and there's so much money that goes into it. Like, it looks great and the spectacle is what it is, but it's just like, damn, at the end of the day, do I recoup any of this stuff? And especially with these record labels who sit and they're like criminally insane the way they just be robbing Peter to pay Paul so they can get their little share. It's just sad and unfortunate. So, and then also on top of that, it's like, yeah, I really wish that there was a category for drag queens and to win Grammys if they put out quality music. And there's some drag queens out here that do be creating some bops. They're not all out here. And then forget RuPaul. RuPaul, you know, but RuPaul is somebody who makes so much money from Drag Race. She can afford to constantly churn out music and work with the best of the best and, you know, license it for the show. So she's got a good deal with that. So, there's a lot of drag queens, like I said, that's out here doing quality music, and it's unfortunate that this is the way the industry is. And that's why I said the music industry is going to implode on itself because of the crazy shit that they doing and try to even get some sort of relevancy. So, and then I really wish that there was a category for drag queens to be, you know, to get Grammy nominations or whatever, but drag queens aren't taken seriously by the masses. Like the gays and people who love drag and the art of drag, we support it and we take it seriously. We support these artists. We support you queens. I know I do. But for the most part, the masses and the mainstream, so no matter how many damn Emmys RuPaul wins, I still feel like, you know, based off of what Trixie is saying, drag is still not taken seriously as an art form in the mainstream space. So yeah, you have infiltrated the space. You are mainstream because RuPaul's Drag Race is the only drag show that seems to be allowed to infiltrate that space. While we have Dragula and all these other shows, but they're on smaller platforms, Drag Race is the only show that seems to be getting all this traction. But in regards to the talent that comes from that, there's, in my opinion, I feel like they're still not taken seriously, and it's unfortunate. And they are, like I said, there's somebody here that's really putting out good music, and I really wish they were taken seriously, but it's sad that they're not. And the fact of the matter is, like, I really want to be an artist and I want to really be creative and do things outside of that Trixie Mattel persona. But if I take the drag off, you're not gonna want to hear whatever Trixie's government name is. Or if any other drag queen were to take off the regalia, whatever, like Fifi O'Hara. At one point, remember she was trying to be saying, nobody want to hear what Jeremy Carey singing about. Y'all want to hear Fifi. Just use that as an example. So it's sad at one point, like Adore. Like Adore, and am I gonna want to listen to Adore as Adore? They want to hear Adore the drag queen. So it's like the persona you create, you have to continue to embody that. So it's unfortunate at this point, but I feel you, girl. But you know, I feel like maybe at this point it's like, you know, I need to take a break. You'll come back and the creative juices will get flowing, but it's just hard out here to be an artist and to sell that dream. And then yeah, they only take you seriously for once a month, which would be next month being Pride Month, because next month is June, so we got Pride right around the corner. A lot of the gays are gonna be booked and busy, the LGBTs. But I don't understand the drag queens so bad. I wonder what like the out hip hop artists and other people in those spaces have to deal with. I would love to hear from like the out pop artists, the out rappers, the out, you know, anybody that's outside of the drag space, how they would feel and put themselves in this situation. Cause I love to hear from them as well. So Let me know what you guys think down in the thoughts below. I mean, your thoughts on this story down below.